Hey everybody, I made a video and a template to try to unify this project, make everything uniformed. So looking at the list of city pairs that was assigned to everybody in class last week, and I just want to talk about this briefly. So you notice that these are my cities in the gray. I got Minneapolis, New York, Dallas, Denver, Chicago, Houston, Denver, and San Fran. So the issue being, New York has 3 airports, Chicago has 2, Dallas has 2, Houston has 2. So when I do my search, I'm going to include all of the airports in the search because it doesn't add any time to the collection and it just adds more data. And the opposite side of that is Los Angeles is broken up between Santa Ana, Ontario, California, not Ontario, Canada, for whoever has these 2 city pairs, Burbank and LAX. So, because they're broken up and split up into individual airports, I'm going to make sure all the individual airports are kind of kept in these data searches. So moving on to the dates, I know there's a little confusion still left over. So on October 15th, that Tuesday, you're going to sit at your desk and on a computer and find the itineraries for those city pairs for Tuesday, October 22nd, Wednesday, October 23rd, Thursday, October 24th, Friday, October 25th, so on and so forth for this week group. Each day here, and lastly, each day here. And this is 8 weeks out, 5 weeks out, 3 weeks out, and 1 week out. So hopefully, by the end, we can group these all together into different variables in whatever analysis that we do. So if you can't, hopefully we can get everyone all their data on this date, but if it rolls over into Wednesday, it shouldn't be a big problem as long as we make sure we write down what day it is when we take that observation point. So you also notice I organized these weeks by color. So you can see on the bottom here on my worksheet tab section, the last week in December is in this light blue color, and scrolling over, my November is in red, early November is in this pale blue color, and October is in this ugly brown because October is the worst. So all told, this is just this file, this workbook is just for one city pair A. For me, that's going to be Minneapolis to New York. So I've actually broken it up into about 100 different worksheets, and I've organized it by week, and then for each by day, and then after I get each day, I'm going to group it together by week. So that'll be this week, and then this week, so on and so forth. So as I go on, and this should take about an hour, I think, I will group them all together under city pair A, and that will have a pretty much, I'm hoping for about 10,000 different itineraries. So eventually I'll have one file with 4 different worksheets for city pair A, city pair B, city pair C, city pair D, and that's what we'll kind of put together, because each individual in the class will have one file that they'll submit to the class compilation, if you will, and we'll compile all those together. So I'm going to then kind of do a trial data collection, so you kind of see how this all works out. And you notice these little uncolored tabs, I call these, it's the scrap sheets. It's kind of like scrap paper. You're just going to use them and throw them away after they're done. And I put them all together now because I can just copy the whole file multiple times. So I can copy it 4 times rather than having to input 100 different or 50 of these little scrap sheets in there now. And you'll see how it works. So we'll go to the website, the ITA software. It's owned by Google. So let me try MSP and NYC, all airports. And so on October 15th, I'll come on here and I'll select October 22nd. And I know in class we talked about doing up to one stop. I'm going to do no limit for now because I tried it once and I got some really weird fares or itineraries that were like 72 hours long. And so I'm just not going to worry about that now. So I'm going to search this out. And yeah, this is the screen I want to look at. First thing I'm going to do is take out this multiple airlines. And now I'm just going to try to copy them all. I'm going to highlight just a little bit. I'm going to scroll down. I should back up. Skip this step. Yeah. Scroll down. I'm going to hold down Control Shift. And I'm just going to click down here. It's going to copy all this good stuff. So now I'm going to Control C to copy. Go into my Word file. I'm going to open up this first scrap sheet. And I'm going to paste the information. Might take a minute or two, depending on how fast your computer is. So we'll see how long this takes. All right. So some of you might actually have the logos show up here, and it's kind of organized weird. It's not very good. So I'm going to hit Control A, just highlight everything, copy, go into the second sheet, and paste values. So it gets rid of all that extra stuff that we don't need. So before I go any further, I'm going to take out these extra rows. I'm going to take out this extra column. And now I'm going to highlight all these columns right here, and I'm going to filter out all those blanks. Data, filter, scroll down, unclick the blanks, and voila. So now I want to copy just the pertinent information. So I'm going to hit Control Shift and tab over with the left arrow key and then hit the up arrow key. I'm going to hit copy that, go into the next one where I already have the labels. So I'm going to put it in the third column, second row, paste values, and it's all where it should be. So we have 254 itineraries, which is not bad. So also then, for kind of record keeping, I'm going to put in the date of itinerary, which is October 15th, and copy that once, copy it twice, and then I'm going to do that. Double click in the right hand corner, and it fills up the table. And then for data reservation, I got it. That's backwards. This is going to be October 22nd. If I double click it, you'd see it changes the dates. I don't want that. So if I copy, and then do this together, it's all the same. This is going to be October 15th, and just like the other one, there. So this day of data collection is done. So we'll have to move on to October 23rd. So we'll try to do this a little bit quickly, see how long it takes. So scroll back up, go to modify search, and go to the 23rd. Search. Get rid of multiple airlines. Scroll down, click on all. Highlight just a little bit. Oop. Scroll down, hit Control and Shift, hold those down and click down here. Control C to copy, and then I'll go to my third scrap sheet, and I'm gonna paste So after this paste in, I'm actually going to go back and I'm going to delete these scrap sheets 1 and 2. So free up some space on my bar. It's going to yell at me, and I'm going to say delete, and I'm going to say delete that one. Just be careful you don't delete one of the one of these worksheets by accident, because sometimes it's pretty narrow to navigate. So it's important to continually save the workbook, the file, probably after you do every day, so you don't accidentally lose any information that you did. So now I'm in worksheet 3. Again, I want to copy all of this. Copy, go to 4, and paste the values. Delete the extra rows. Delete the extra column. Highlight the columns. Make sure you go all the way to G. Filter. I like to do it by price. You can probably do it by any other column. Unclick the blanks. And then copy. Go into October 23rd. Under price, paste values. And just like we did before, it's going to be October 23rd. This will be the same thing, just copy. And then this one's going to be October 15th. And then I'm just going to double click both of those together. So that looks pretty good. And you'll notice that even though this was Minneapolis to New York, we have JFK, LGA, and then Newark is in here too. So granted, there's a lot of LGAs because Delta is pretty heavy in that market domestically. So we get the full spread. I mean, we don't even have any 2-stop airports in this market, even though we let that slide. So got another 253 again, which makes me wonder. 254. All right, so that's about 250 per day per market. So let's add up really quick, and we should have thousands of itineraries by the end of the data collection process. So again, I'm going to delete my scrap sheets. And so now you see how they're kind of in order, 22, 23. I'll do it again. I'm not going to do it now, but when I do it, it'll just be 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, and then the week. And then I'll move on to the next set of dates from the 5th of November to the 11th of November. Do the same process. Go do it again for the end of November, and do it again for December. So for this one market, I'll have probably just left over 28 days left over, and I'll save that as a different file. I'll save it at the file. Then I'll save it as a different file. Get rid of individual days and group it by week, and then I'll save it. I'll group all it again and save it as a different file just by the market alone, and I'll combine all the 4 markets that I'm doing. So that'll save some space, but it also maintains some kind of it'll maintain the raw data that we collected in case we have to go back and change anything. So I think it's a tedious process, and if it takes 2 minutes per day, let's say, or 3 minutes per day, it's going to take about an hour per market. So when we do this October 15th, it might take up to 4 hours, depending upon how many breaks you take and how quickly you are with Excel. So that's one of those things. If you end up taking dates the next day on Wednesday, it's not going to make a huge deal, because you're just going to be taking get the same market data. It'll just be a day closer, and the group will be fine. We can kind of undo that later with some Excel work. So that's it for now. I'm going to post these templates into the course's file collaboration on Blackboard, and so I'll have A, B, C, and D up there. So you can have you'll have one file for each of the market at first, and then if you want, you can consolidate it down into that just one file with all the market information in there, and then we can go from there. So thanks for listening to my rant, and I'll see you in class.